Shortlets apartments are fast becoming home away from home, especially for business moguls and tourists. But how well is the business doing in Nigeria, and what are the intricacies you need to know, especially if you're thinking of going into the business? These are some of the issues we will be discussing on the Money Motivation segment today. And we have joining us Tobi, Misan, Adegboyega. He is CEO Eco Shortlets and Holiday Shortstays. He joins us live in the studio. Thank you for joining us. Happy New Year.
Same to you. Happy New Year. Thank you. Same here. Thank you. How are you doing today?
So tell us, going into a Shortlets apartment business, what does it entail?
There's so many intricacies to come into Shortlets. Of course, you know the way it is in Nigeria. When there's a booming business, everybody's running into it. Right. But you need to know a few things. So just briefly, first and foremost, you need to have a suitable location. Nobody wants to go to an apartment and I'm struggling with road access, I'm struggling with bad road. You need to have good modern facilities. Things like a beautiful swimming pool, a gym, a kids play area. You also need to have proper management ethics. I mean, it's a business where word of referral is your biggest form of adverts. No matter how much you spend on billboards and all of that. Someone saying, oh, talk to Tobi, Eco Shortlet, talk to this and that, I am confident in them. So you need to ensure that your customer is happy at every point in time. Now, cleanliness also is very important because at every point someone comes into the apartment, it must give them the same feel as at the first time they came. So all of these things are consistency. And again, the most of it all is your interior designing. It has to be top notch. It has to be beautiful. It doesn't have to be expensive, but you could. So like for Eco Shortlet,
so do you get experts to do all of these things, the interior designing?
So I'll tell you one funny thing. Yeah, I actually do interior designing of my apartment.
Oh.
Yeah, why I started was because on getting an apartment, we give an interior designer come give us a quote, and you're seeing for a 3-bedroom, I'm seeing 25 million, 30 million. I'm like, why? I've been privileged to go to so many apartments, so I know what should be in different places. And I told my team, guys, we can do this, and then voila, we started. So every apartment we manage right now, we designed it ourselves.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So did you go for the training?
Nope.
No training?
Nope. I tell people the best place you can train right now is YouTube. Just watch YouTube videos, man. Yeah. And then once you're willing to learn something, you get it done. So I went on YouTube, read a few interior designer guys, and so
that's shocking because I mean this is hospitality business basically, and there's always the need to go for these tutorials as it were, just to be abreast of the skills needed and how to go about the business. If you're saying you did not go for any tutorial whatsoever, be it for interior decoration and all other aspects of the business
at all,
it's shocking. Can all of that be captured from online learning? Talking about the necessary skills,
yes,
not just the interior.
It can be done with online learning, but first and foremost, the most important thing is you need to have the passion. You want to do this.
Okay.
You don't want to do this because yes, you make money from it, but that's not your first focus. You enjoy doing it. So when you enjoy doing something, you're willing to learn more about it. You're willing to get more knowledge about it. You can do online courses, and there's so many. So what I do is I tell people I run a kind of Dubai model. So I've been privileged to go to Dubai a few times, and I've had meetings with guys who are doing good. We all know Dubai is number one when it comes to hospitality. So I've met a few guys who I've seen their models, like how they run their business. So I just try to replicate what I see and then had a bit of Nigerian touch to it, and then
so what makes Eco hotels and Shortlet apartments, what makes it different? What's that touch that gives you an edge above others? And how profitable is the business?
I would say hospitality. So I'm from hospitality background. I've managed restaurants, hotels and all of that. So I try and put that into my apartment. So for instance now, once in a while we could send a client a tray of breakfast platter to say, oh, thanks for staying with us today. Or we say we'll give you a spa to go for a spa. So I put a bit of hospitality touch in it, and that's really helped me. In terms of profitability, I would say it's good. But one thing first, the capital is
so let's talk about what does it involve.
So first and foremost, you either buy the property or you rent the property. Now, for you to rent, a lot of owners will say, I don't want Shortlet in my property. So it's out of 15 properties, maybe only one was set to do Shortlet.
Really?
So you have to buy.
So they dictate what you do on the
of course, because you're subletting. The normal Lagos tenancy agreement
you're not buying it.
No, if you're renting, you're subletting because you're giving people. A normal Lagos tenancy rate will say you cannot sublet, so you're going against the laws. So you have to let them know, I want to sublet this. Are you okay with it? So a lot of times we'll be like, I don't want, because Shortlets, you see different faces there every time. Different people. You see a guy today, tomorrow you see someone else. So sometimes the host community, that is the estate, they're a bit hostile to it. They're like, oh, I don't feel safe with my kids in the compound because I'm seeing different faces. So that restrains you from renting. Now have to buy. Now to buy a 2-bedroom in Lekki Ikate, for instance, now you're looking at 65-70 million. Just to buy a 2-bedroom.
I can imagine.
A 3-bedroom, you're looking at 100 and over 100. Now you have to do interiors. To do an interior design of a 3-bedroom, at least you spend not less than 10 to 12 million naira.
And isn't a 3-bedroom too small to start a Shortlet apartment business?
A 3-bedroom is really ideal, because what we do, one of the things we do in Shortlet, we can sell as a 3-bedroom, and when someone says actually the 2-bedroom, we can lock up a room and sell it as a 2-bedroom.
Okay.
So a Shortlet apartment, the way we run, it doesn't have to be in the entire building.
Okay.
You have bits in different places.
Is that what you do?
Yeah, that's what we do.
Okay.
That's nice. Let's come to the name, Eco Shortlet.
Yeah.
I mean, there are those who think Eco Shortlet, is it restricted to Lagos only, or the business, you have it in other parts of the southwest and Nigeria as a whole? Let's start with that.
Okay, so we all know Lagos, of course, is the commercial hub. Yeah.
Okay.
Lagos is where the money is, I like to say. The number of Shortlets you sell in Lagos, you can't sell that same in Abuja. We all know, apart from Lagos, you have Abuja. Places like Benin and all of those places, they are not yet fully open to the Shortlet business.
Okay.
So my plan is to, right now we have Eco Shortlet, we're going to have Abuja Shortlet, we're going to have, so we're going to have different like that. But we have a main company which is called the Eco Group. So under that we have Abuja Shortlet and other places.
So what's the average cost? Say I want to rent a 2-bedroom Shortlet. How?
So it varies. The least 2-bedroom you find a 2-bedroom for like 45,000 per night.
At Eco Shortlet, or
at Eco Shortlet, yes. Shortlet. And you can same day you have a 2-bedroom for 120,000 per night. I mean, like, why so much gap?
What are the
so I'll give you an example. The 2-bedroom, like I said, location matters. Now the 2-bedroom of 45,000 is somewhere like Ikota towards Aja. The 2-bedroom.
So you're spread all across
Lagos, yes. The 2-bedroom, the other 2-bedroom is in Ikoyi. It has a view of the ocean. So you see, the other 2-bedroom is just an apartment in Ikota, basic, nothing.
No swimming pool.
Of course, no swimming pool, no gym, nothing. The other one has a swimming pool, it has a kids playground, it has a tennis court, it has everything. So everything you want is all there. So of course, you see that.
So how do you do damage control, especially when it comes to people managing your resources or your facilities? Because a lot of people would come in, some people would even take some of your items. How do you put measures in place, security measures in place to watch that?
So for us, as a company, we have what we call the rule book. So before we even give you invoicing or payment, we send out a rule book. You need to agree to it and sign online to say I agree to these conditions. Of course, Nigerians, people sometimes go away from that, and then we take what we call
don't like rules.
Yeah, we take what we call a government ID. So you have to give us an ID card from the Nigerian government. You can't give us the Turkish government. If anything happens, we can't go to Turkey to look for you. So that's to be Nigerian government ID. And then we have our guys.
NIN.
Exactly, like the NIN, international passport. We have our guys who verify it. Once it's verified, we then take you in. And then we also have what we call the caution deposit. So the caution deposit is if you spoil anything, we would fix it from. So it depends on the apartment, but it ranges from 50,000 to 250,000. Depends on the kind of and standard of apartment.
That's inclusive of the.
That's exclusive of payment. So apartment is separate. And then there's a caution fee, standard fee. Yeah. So by the time you leave, when the housekeeper and the house manager comes in and does the inventory and everything is fine, we send it back to you owner before 12 hours.
Do you have CCTVs too?
So it is against the rule to have CCTV inside your apartment because you feel like someone is watching you. But of course, at the exteriors outside, yes, we have CCTV cameras and all that happens there.
So have you had issues of theft and all?
Funny enough, we've been very blessed not to have any of such. I mean, we haven't had any. The most we've had was people going and then throw a party when we say it's a non-party apartment and then they actually litter the entire space. So in cases like that, we just bring in a professional cleaning company, come and clean, and then their caution fee goes into that.
So there are party apartments and there are non-party apartments.
Of course, definitely.
Great. I mean, you've given us an inkling to what it looks like to, stay at an Eco Shortlet apartment. Let's look at the place of recreation because more often than not, those who, make do with your services, they want a home away from home.
Of course.
They want to relax. They want to, you know, just get back that energy and vibe after probably a tedious time at work. Yeah. So the place of relaxation or recreation, or are we looking at sports facilities? Are we looking at entertainment, you know, angles to Eco Shortlets?
Yes, of course. So like I said earlier on, that I am from hospitality, so I put a bit of hospitality into what I do.
Okay.
And on my Instagram, I call myself the lifestyle connoisseur. So what is the lifestyle? I mean, everything you need to chop life in Lagos, I can handle that for you. So Eco Shortlets is just one of its own, but me as a person, as a brand, I have different things. So for instance, you come into Lagos, we pick you up at the airport, take it to the apartment, we send you a list of restaurants you can go to, we also let you know places you can visit. Now apart from that facility where we ensure there's a pool, there's a gym, like just basic things, there's sporty activities, people like, I want to explore more. So we have companies, we have other places where we're in partnership with. We have tour guides, tour guides, and then resorts like iBrand Tropicana. We have a partnership with them. So when people come out like, oh, I'm looking for where to go in Lagos, so we can recommend to iBrand Tropicana. They will do the bookings for you. So iBrand Tropicana, Epe Resort, and also Jara. So we also add that in the.
All of this sound very rosy and colorful.
It is expensive.
So talk to us about the thorns. What are the challenges in this business?
Every entrepreneur will tell you, first and foremost, staffing.
Okay.
I have been blessed to have good guys, and also I've been blessed to sack people. I mean, so I had a meeting with one of my mentors, the owner of Pine Awards, and she said to me, she said, you need to make your guys understand that you cannot play with my money.
Okay.
So having staffing, good staffing could be a challenge, and also again in terms of the client. Now, not everyone.
So sorry, before you go ahead. So does it mean that they don't share your vision, or what exactly is the challenge in staffing?
So I think the average Nigerian just wants a salary. The average young man I just want the salary, and that's all. You have very few, I call them entrepreneur employee. Okay. Like someone who sees the business as, I can create something as his own. I can create something for myself from this. And I tell my guys, say, listen, I don't want anybody to be with me for 20 years. What are you doing? You have to move. I mean, the longest one able to be maybe 5 to 10 years at most. You have to go to something else. So it takes very few of them to say, I can do this well and then grow to create something for myself. I mean, the business is one where the barrier to entry is zero. I've had people who, just my friends, started their own Shortlets, and next of mine too, started their own Shortlet too. Yes, so the barrier to entry to the business is actually zero. So I tell them, guys, you can get something out of this for yourself beyond this. So that could be a challenge. And also again, I would say in terms of the clients, now like you actually mentioned before, not everyone understands the value of what you have.
Exactly.
Now for instance, now I have maybe a chair from Live Mates for maybe about 500,000 naira, and you know, once you put a cigarette burn on it, chair is gone. I'm not going to stitch a chair. So not everyone understands that you need to place value to this property, and that is one of our biggest challenge. But we always find ways around it, of course.
When you say you find ways around it, we need to talk about it because it's a huge challenge, and I'm glad you just brought about a very good example. A client destroys a furniture of 500,000 worth or $1 million, and the caution fee is not even up to that amount. So how do you go about it? Do you ask the clients to pay more, which I mean would, you know, seemingly be,
or do you file a lawsuit?
Or do you file exactly?
So like I said earlier, I've been so blessed that we've not that issue. Whatever has happened in the apartment, the caution fee has at every point in time been able to take care of it. But if it happens, we would have to file a lawsuit. We'd have to go to the police. That's why I said earlier on, we take a Nigerian government ID, because first and foremost, there has to be you have to have what to present to the authority. That is this person. Now we also ensure that whatever ID you're giving us, the deposit when you make a payment has to come from that same account. So if anything, if the authority need to contact the bank or something, and they say it's the same, it's the same amount or that. If it happens, then of course we'll write to you first, like, gentlemen, like, oh, you've done this, can we sit and see what we can do to solve this? If the person proves stubborn, then we'll go to the authorities, of course.
Talk to us about your staff strength. Who are those involved? What are the kind of employment you're creating in your industry?
So right now I have 30 staff under Eco Shortlet. We have the IT guys, we have the PR guys. The IT guys want to do the website. We have the social media guys. We have the operations manager. Most of the staff are house managers and cleaners. So what I do is I I employed cleaners to work directly with us and not just start to external whatever.
Okay.
So that way they have a guaranteed sum of living. So if a client comes to the property, if a client doesn't come to the property, it's not their own business. I would of course ensure they have their salary. Yeah, so we have most cleaners, they have most house managers, because they are called the house managers the host, because they're the ones who welcome the guests. When they come in, like, oh, welcome, show them around the apartment, give them like a few minutes inventory, like, oh, this is here, this is here, this is here, so that you say, oh, I didn't see this there when I came in. And so yeah, those are basically.
So what do you think is the space or the gap that Shortlets apartments are filling in Nigeria, especially looking at the fact that we have hotels?
Yes.
What difference do you think Shortlets apartments have as against going to a hotel?
Okay, so I'll tell you first that what aided Shortlets in Nigeria was COVID. And I'll tell you why. Now, during COVID, hotels were shut down.
Yes.
People couldn't travel. People were sick and bored of their homes. People were looking for different places to go to. So then people started saying, oh, let me go to my guy's apartment. Let me take this Shortlet. And since that, the Shortlet business just boom. It began. Now,
were people quarantining in Shortlet apartments?
Yes, people were quarantining. We had guys who were in the apartment for 4 months, 5 months, paying daily fee.
And then you have to do a lot of cleaning outside.
Of course, no. So we do cleaning at 2 days, sometimes every day. So you don't wait for them to leave. Yeah, so you do that because you change the sheet, you change the towel, you do all of that, you change that.
And then maintain all security,
of course,
safety measures
and all of that. After that, you ensure all of that, definitely, yes.
Okay, so you were telling us about the difference.
Okay, so let me use Lekki Phase 1 for instance, because that's like our home. Now, in Lekki Phase 1, if you want a good hotel, you're looking like 65,000 per night for a standard hotel. Now, you can get a 3-bedroom in Lekki Phase 1 for 100,000 per night. Now,
a Shortlet.
Now, what happens is, for Shortlet, it's not just you in a 3-bedroom, maybe you and 2 other guys. So that's 3 of you. Now, if 3 of you are splitting 100K, that's 35K against you paying 65K for a hotel. Now, for a hotel, you have to buy food from them, you have to get all of that. But for an apartment, you can cook yourself, you can do what you need to do, all of you can be in the living room and do your hangout. So it's relatively cheaper than you go to a hotel. And then you feel more like I'm in a home. Because for me as a person, I feel I'm in a box when I'm in a hotel. Like I'm just in one small, but it's Shortlet, you can go there and all of that. So it's relatively cheaper to a hotel.
Okay, that's great. The hospitality industry is saturated, it must be said. As you said, the COVID, the lockdown period really made the Airbnb business boom and all of that. I know you talked about it briefly earlier, but I need you to espouse more on that. What makes Eco Shortlets different from every other Shortlets apartment?
First and foremost, for us, customer is king. I mean, one of the things that's kept us in business is returning clients. And why would the client return to you? Because he or she was satisfied when he or she came to your place. So we make sure the customer is fully. I mean, it's happened that to one of my partners sometime at a point they had water issues, and the client just sent me a text like, Mr. Tobi, I can't get water. And luckily for me, I was awake at 1:30 a.m. I got jerry cans and took water to him in his apartment. So little services like that makes your clients like, okay, yeah, I can bank on you guys. And it so happened that most apartments we manage now, they've been from guys who have stayed in our apartments, who are happy with the service, and be like,
referrals.
Yeah, and be like, I want to go into this business. How can I? And then we talk, look at the numbers. Okay, let's do this. There's a guy now, we manage 5 of his properties in the Ikeja GRA. We met him because he stayed in one of our apartments, and voila. Now, so we ensure like the customer is satisfied. Also, again, like I mentioned, we put a bit of hospitality into it. I think this would be our major 2 strengths.
How do you market your business?
We do love marketing, social media. I got to tell that Tobi is a mess maker. I have a car branded Eco Shortlets on my personal WhatsApp. Exactly. See, on my personal WhatsApp on Eco Shortlets group. I mean, we push out there, and then sometimes we do a bit of celebrity. What's it called? Like we do like a partnership with celebrity. Okay, post us for like a week.
Brand ambassador.
Exactly. Not brand ambassadors. I'll say maybe. Talk about us for like first and God bless you. Put us out there for like a week, and then I'll give you apartment for like 2 weeks or something. So we look at trade and barter basically. Trade and barter exactly. So I didn't pay you cash, but hey, you have this beautiful place to stay. So we do that, and then sometimes we do billboards.
Okay.
For billboards, I would say, well, it hasn't really given us
the result.
Yeah, that result. But it's been more of social media and of course referral. Referral has been our biggest.
Okay, so how do I book a package with Eco Shortlets?
Yeah, so we have a website, www.ecoshortlets.com.
Don't rush it.
Okay.
It's right down the screen.
So it's www.ecoshortlets.com on all our social media handles: Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok. Eco Shortlets.
And that's the office?
Yes, Police Star Building, Marwa roundabout.
Okay.
Yes.
Phone numbers to call.
Yeah, phone numbers is 08092223478.
All right. Final thoughts to those who want to come into this business and are looking at you and are like, looks like there's a lot of money here. There's a lot of money in this business.
So I say first and foremost, know your onion.
Okay.
I mean, you can't come into an industry that you have no idea of. Like, you can't come in blindly. Know your onion. And please be warned, though, it is capital intensive. I mean, you spend money. Yeah, it's expensive, but it is very doable. So I'll give you one analysis. If you rent a 3-bedroom, if you have a 3-bedroom like yours in Lekki Phase 1, and you rent it out for a year, the most you will make is 8 million naira per year.
Okay.
Now, if you put that property on Shortlet, in a day you do 100,000 per night. Now, worst case scenario, you do 20 days in a month rather. So that is 2 million naira in a month. 2 million naira times 12. 24 million naira, as against you making 8 million naira rental income. So that's why I find now you see some buildings in Lekki, the entire building, everyone is doing Shortlets. No one is even doing yearly rent anymore. Yeah, so it makes more business sense to put up on Shortlet than yearly rent.
All right, I like that you prepared them, especially for the bottlenecks they may encounter for business. Well, thank you so much for your time. Tobi, Misan Adegboyega, CEO, Eco Shortlets and Holiday Shortstays.
Thank you. It's been an honor.
Great having you on the show.
Thank you very much. Appreciate
All right, this is where we begin to draw the curtains of today's edition of the show, but not without the quote of the day. And that is, if you look at what you have in life, you'll always have more. If you look at what you don't have in life, you'll never have enough. That's by Oprah Winfrey.
Yep. It's about being positive, you know, being contented and hoping that you have more. Again, oftentimes we tend to try to, we tend to try to control what we can't control. Sometimes it's what you have that you make do with. It's what you have that, you work with. So it's all about controlling the narrative. And that would start with you telling the story the way it is now and projecting it into the future.
And I would say it's about what you see.
Exactly.
Because really, most times we tend to look at things we don't have and then we ignore the things that we have. So it's important to appreciate what you have so that it can increase. Right?
Contentment, definitely.
Contentment. I like that. Simply put.
Contentment. But again, I say you can be contented, but don't be lackadaisical to get it better.
Exactly.
Yeah. Complacency is also another risk. You don't want to be complacent about it. You want to keep pushing to get better. Well, this is where we wrap it up on the show. Thank you so much for being a part of iBrand Daybreak today. My name is Omobolanle Adeshi. Have a great day.
I'm Samson the Lady. Do have a blessed day.